Last fall semester, I was in Buenos Aires, Argentina, from the middle of August until the middle of December. I went into my study abroad program having zero idea about the country that I was going to or the people that I was going to meet. I didn't know anybody, and I didn't do very much research before I went to Argentina. The only thing I knew about Buenos Aires was that it was a big city and that they spoke Spanish. So I arrived in the Buenos Aires airport um, really late on Friday night, and I was waiting for my bag, and obviously it was the last bag off, and I went to go get a cab to go to my homestay, and I didn't know how to ask, how to say my address, so that was embarrassing, and I get in the cab, and the ride from the airport was pretty ugly. And like many rides from many airports are in many cities, it's not a very good representative of what the city is like. But as I sat in the cab, I thought to myself, what am I getting myself into for the next 5 months? So I get out of the cab and I buzz the number that I was supposed to get to, and Estella, my homestay mother, comes downstairs and is rambling to me in Spanish, and I had no idea what the fuck she was saying, and I was literally just like, see, 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 like just saying yes over and over again. So then I go upstairs, and I was expecting just this quaint little Argentine apartment in my mind that was just very clean and had a lot of pictures up and was very smelled great, and it was none of those things. My room was the size of a closet, and the apartment smelled like disgusting cigarettes, and it was gross. So then that night I just went to bed, and the next day I woke up, and it was my first full day in Argentina, and I was like, I'm going to explore the city. I don't know anybody. I'm going to do this thing. I'm going to walk around and, be all New Yorker in Argentina and figure out my roots and my ways. So I look up how to get to the Recoleta Cemetery, which is supposed to be right by my house. And so I write down really explicit directions, and Estella says something to me, and I'm like, CC, I have no idea what the fuck she said. Um, and then I go downstairs and I start walking, and I'm so proud of myself because I find the cemetery without any problem. I didn't have to ask anybody. Someone even asked me for directions, and I was like, I felt so proud. Obviously, I couldn't answer them, and I had no idea what they asked me. But then, so I'm on my way back, and I realize that I am completely lost, and I don't have a phone. I don't have a map. I just have my stupid directions that got me there, and I realized that there was a huge language barrier, and I tried to think of how to ask people how to get to where I lived, but then I couldn't remember how to say where I lived, and it was so stressful, and I was just looking for landmarks, looking for something familiar. Somehow, some way, I found myself back to 2300 Paraná. Thank God, because otherwise I would have been stranded on the streets of Buenos Aires. But it was the first full day was a super eye-awakening experience, and enlightened me that I need to get my Spanish in line if I wanted to survive there.